what is the best looking car that you can buy in India if you are on a budget? I think it's this. Toyota Urban Cruiser Taisor, or is it Taisor? How you want to call it. That's a pretty long name for a car, but it does have a long list of things going for it. So how about today we talk about 5 of those things. Ready? Let's go. We could talk about the way it drives, the fact that it is packed so full of features and it will keep you amazed. But let's start with the biggest reason to buy this, the way it looks. I wasn't kidding when I said that this is the best looking affordable car that you can buy in India today. And while some of you will disagree with me in the comments, let me tell you why this is a hill that I will die on. SUV design language is everywhere today, and those SUV cues is exactly what the Taisor gets, with those plastic claddings and the silver front and rear bumper lips. But most importantly, it gets balance. It looks so much bigger than it is, and that means it packs a mighty punch when it comes to road presence. And we all know how important road presence is in India, right? And let's talk about this. Let's talk about the iconic Toyota grille. This is proof that Toyota's true SUV DNA, that is in spades in the likes of the Hilux and the Fortuner, and even legends like the Land Cruiser, transcends so seamlessly into everything they make. It also gets a set of wheels that I approve. They do say that a set of wheels makes or breaks a car, and this gets a proper thumbs up for me. But that isn't the only little detail that I love. I like the way the LED runs through the tail lamps. I like the slim LED daytime running lights too. But most of all, I love the proportions. You know, this is called the Urban Cruiser Taisor. I think it should have been called the Urban Warrior. Better name. But to be an urban warrior, it needs to do more than just pack a big grille and look good. It needs to drive well.
Take it out. Been through hard times, no breaking us. Pressure's on, what you gonna make of it? Push it to the limit, gotta take a risk.
This engine, I'm going to make a very, very bold statement yet again, because I truly believe in it. This 1-liter turbo engine is the most underrated 1-liter turbo engine in the market today. And in my opinion, also one of the best. On paper, it makes just 100 horsepower and 147 Newton meters of torque. But it gets a mild hybrid system that helps torque on startup, and maybe that is why it feels so fluid while on the move. This is what a Japanese engine needs to be like. A small engine, but fizzy. One that likes to rev, one that gives power to you whenever you really want. One that likes to be driven hard. And still, if you really put your sensible human hat on, it gives you 21.18 kilometers per liter. How?
Speed it up.
And all of this is packed up really nicely with a real automatic gearbox, a torque converter. There is a saying that when the inevitable and unfortunate nuclear strike finally does happen, only a few things will survive. Cockroaches, Toyotas, and the torque converter gearbox. They are bulletproof, bomb-proof, and most importantly, idiot-proof. Oh, and if you do want to brag about things to your work friends when you pick them up for your carpool drive every morning, the paddle shifters always help. Always. Why didn't you buy a real SUV? यार इतने पैसे में तो वो गाड़ी ले लेता. See, that's the kind of jibes that you're going to hear from people who you might call your friends. But you will get a day where you can give payback, because someday they'll call you and ask you to pick them up. And that day, you should go early, pick them up early, and take them for a bit of a detour. Because after all, this is still a Toyota. That means there is inherent DNA that makes it want to go anywhere, over everything, and live forever. Like a true Toyota SUV soul that it has underneath. Road less taken, roads never taken, roads always taken. It's really in its element here. Okay, let's be honest. Just because a car looks good and drives well does not mean it sells well. That's not the only thing people are looking for in a car in 2025. Take me for example. I like my things old-fashioned. I love an analog watch. I'll always only wear an analog watch, for example, and my sneakers are clinging on to an idea from 1982. But I love my tech, and one of those things, one of those tech bits that I cannot live without is air conditioning. And if I can control my home's AC from my phone, I don't see why my car should not have that feature as standard. With the Urban Cruiser Taisor's connected tech, you can remotely start the AC on a hot summer day or on a humid day like now, so that the cabin can stay as cool and fresh as my white Air Force Ones. And since this is the kind of car that does family duties, if you have, say, a driver driving your family around, you can monitor where the car exactly is, how far it is going, fuel levels, if the windows and doors are locked or not, and a bunch more. But it is 2025, and that means there is a lot more on offer. A 9-inch touchscreen which is really crisp, a 360-degree parking camera which truly comes in handy. And then you have the hood, not HOOD, not the one that's in front of your car, the HUD that's inside your car, the heads-up display. Now, a lot of people do say that it's a bit of a gimmick. I personally really like it. So, car looks good, drives really well, handles all the rough stuff, and is packed full of tech. That's 4 out of 5. Number 5 then is something that a lot of people often take for granted, like a good cup of coffee. But trust me, in this case, you won't take it for granted. What you get with the Taisor isn't just a good car, a good package. What you get with the Taisor is the badge. The Toyota badge. And that badge means something, at least in here. It means you have access to Toyota's absolutely legendary service network. Ask any Toyota owner, any real owner, and they will usually tell you that their service center is where they always send their car, even if it is out of the 3-year or 1 lakh kilometer warranty that something like the Taisor gets. In fact, there is a very popular and common saying amongst Toyota owners: if you have or own a Toyota and you send it to a Toyota service center, nothing will ever go wrong with it. And that is because Toyota has built a reputation over the years where they ensure that they take care of you and your car after you've bought it, and they don't mess around. More than any large touchscreen or 360-degree camera or Apple CarPlay is how good your service experience is. And when was the last time you heard a bad Toyota service story? Never. This is literally one of the most perfect cars you can buy in India at the price point, because it drives well, it looks good, and it's got that badge that absolutely everybody seems to adore. And underneath the skin, it's all heart and soul, and even the skin, that's glowing radiant like you see in some television commercials. Frankly, if you don't consider one of these when you're in the market for your next car purchase, you're making a big mistake.